Hello agate lovers, it's time for another slabbing video. In this video we're going to take this big ol' agate that I found out in West Texas. Check it out. You can see that it will have a little bit of banding in there. Obviously, well, lots of quartz it looks like. I'm not sure about the rest of it though. Looks a little coarse. Maybe it's going to have these little tiny holes peppered throughout. I've seen that before on some of these rocks I've cut. Will this one? I don't know, but we're going to find out. I'm going to go ahead and get this in the shop. I'm going to get it on the 18-inch saw. Get a few slabs off of it, and then I'll bring them back in here, and I'll show you what they look like. The slabbing is all finished. Now, we can finally answer the question, did we get a good agate here? Let's begin. Well, first of all, as you can see, a couple of these small pieces broke off. Well, that's nice though. It looks like we are going to have some mossiness in there. These are going to be good tumbler pieces. This was the very first chunk right here that I slabbed off, and I thought, ooh, as soon as I saw that, I remember thinking to myself, we are in for a good looking agate. You can see some nice banding in there. Well, was I right? Let's start with this first full slab. Very coarse right there, as you can see, but it is mossy. That's some pretty chalcedony right there. Ooh, okay, I'm liking this. If we can get more of this, that is. Well, let's see the next slab. Oh, still a lot of this ugly coarseness over here, but if you look closely, you can see tiny pluming in there. See that? I think that's really pretty. And more of that chalcedony. Not very useful in the shop though. Obviously you wouldn't want to make a cabochon out of that. Although you could, I suppose, and it might be interesting because of that very fine pluming in there. Let's forge ahead. Okay, so this little area here, although it's very nice, it's kind of small and it's surrounded by this coarseness. I really do like that tiny pluming in there though. You see that? I think that's just beautiful. Yeah, I really like that. I wish it were not so porous. Now we finally got into some bigger slabs. Ooh. Well, that's pretty up there. I like that. There are some fractures. And so, all that coarseness, look at that right there. In spite of that though, I still think this is a very interesting looking slab. Let's see the other side here. Ooh. You know, I honestly like this. I know it's very coarse and there's not a lot I could do with it as far as making cabochons. Although I still see, like right in here, look, there's plenty of area right in there to make a beautiful cab. So let's see, is it getting better? Is it getting worse? Next slice. Ooh, look at the banding on that one. Wow. Too bad about that big fracture right there. That's actually quite nice, I think. And sure, it's pretty solid right throughout there. Look at that. Oh, absolutely. I could use that to make a gorgeous cabochon. See the other side and... Ooh, too bad about that fracture. Look at that. I think that's beautiful. Yeah, there's plenty of area to work with in there. I'll definitely turn this into a cab at some point. A couple more slabs here. Oop, this one broke as I was cutting it, right along where that fracture was that we saw earlier. Let me see, can I get that line back up? How was this on here? I'm all confused. Right in there, there it is. There it is. The fracture finally got the better of the slab. I might be able to do something with this. Some sort of narrow cabochon, you know, one of those slender ovals maybe. What about the other side? Wow, that banding's really pretty. All right, let's see. One, no, 3 more here. Wow. I kept cutting, hoping that I would get more of this and less of that, but honestly, now that I'm looking at it, I really don't mind this section down here. That's a beautiful moss agate. Look at that. As long as it's somewhat smooth. And here you can see some more of those little pucks in there, the little holes. Wow, look at that. Nature can really paint a picture, can't it? Wow. I think that's really pretty. I can see a nice cabochon right there, and I can avoid that fracture. I'll be able to incorporate the quartz. That usually makes for a very interesting cabochon. All right. 2 more. 2 more? Yeah, 2 more. Okay, this one is holding together right now. More of the same. Unfortunately, this stuff just didn't go in really deeply, but in spite of that, look at what's there. I think it's pretty cool. Actually, I like the shape of this one. What does that look like? Sort of the back of a scorpion, you know, the scorpion tail. Wow, pretty cool stuff. All right, last slab. Let's see what it looks like here. Maybe I can work with that. I see fracture there, but maybe I can incorporate that little crystal vug right there into a cabochon. Perhaps I can get a circular one or an oval right around there. I think that would be nice. Yeah, sure. I like that nearly perfect partial circle right there. Wow, that is really close to a perfect circle. Look at that. Wow. Okay, this is what we have left. Let's take a look here. You can see I ran out of room. I had this thing clamped in the saw and I got as close to it as I could. Now I could slab this maybe in a different direction, but it would just be more of this, which isn't a bad thing. Time to grade this one. Let's see, what are we thinking here? This one's kind of interesting, right? On the one hand, it is filled with beautiful mossy, plumy agate. And as you can see, it's got the banding in that chalcedony. But on the other hand, it's also very coarse. You see those little like holes in it. So on balance, let's give this for a grade, let's say a B+. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it. It was a fun cut. We had some pretty decent slabs in here. Not great, but good and certainly attractive, right? So if you weren't going to turn these into cabochons and just maybe polish and display them, I think they look really good. Hope you agree. Once again, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. And please remember to check my other videos for more like this. Thanks again.